Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next episode of Vinyl Stallions!
See, we're good. 5.0. And that's what we'll be talking about today, ladies and gentlemen, on Vinyl Stallions, our fifth installment of the Vinyl Roulette series. We got the boys back. Klep, Michael, how we living today?
Good as always. Just another beautiful day in Northwest Ohio.
Yeah, doing well. 5.0. I'm excited to talk about it. Just keeps getting better. And yeah, all good vibes over here.
Yeah, no, this shit is unbelievable to keep doing, and I am glad we've stuck with it so far. And it's been about it's honestly been around, I think, like since the Stallions have been around. I think our first one was in like March of 2022. So Stallions started in February of 2022. So right around the same time, these ideas were birthed together. And yeah, so for those who don't know and have not listened to our other Vinyl Roulettes, the rules are basically we just listened to 6 albums, and they're between all of our different vinyl collections, and how they are chosen has differentiated each time. And it was a little bit different this time because your boy hosted. They came over into Cleveland, Ohio, and I didn't tell them shit beforehand.
Yeah, that was a fun surprise. I mean, we've done Toledo a couple of times, but yeah, going back to Cleveland there, JJ had the place ready. It was just like a party basically. And yeah, I don't know if we're going to get into like how we selected certain albums or who had to turn. If you want to get into that, that was like a really fun and different twist.
Oh, we will totally be diving into that.
Yeah, that's like the whole thing.
Good.
But yeah, it's yeah. So again, I hosted here up in Cleveland, Ohio. Had the boys come down for a weekend. We Friday night arrived and got the all-you-can-eat sushi and hibachi at Kintaro.
Yes. Oh, that was so good. And you're like a member there now. I mean, you gotta get me in again. I swear, that was so good.
I should be a frequent flyer. We should pitch to them, Stallion sponsorship. Here we go. Partner with the boys.
That would be
cool.
But so we went there, got some pregame meal night before, kicked it before the night beforehand, and then we decided to wake up very early and start this thing. Because again, we've had some quadruple discers. This thing's gone long sometimes. So we're like, hell, why not just get the day going? And so the first round, we had some odds boost. And the odds boost was everyone chose 10 albums or not at random. They just were able to choose it between all of the different albums in the mix.
And how many albums were available? Sorry to interrupt, but how many albums were available total?
Yeah, what are we at?
Good question.
I think like 600-700.
I just want to give everyone an idea.
I don't know, and my laptop is not within arm's reach.
I think it was like mid 600s or something.
Well, for this one specifically, no, it was like a little over 100.
Well, yeah, no, but out of all the albums that we were able to choose from at the start, it was between all that close to 600-700. And then, so we chose our 10. I had some other people choose 10 on their own, and there was 4 different odds boosts who Klep and Michael did not know who put them in there. And then we said, all right, we are going to fill up Klep's final carrier with the house. And so the house consisted of whatever albums of mine were already here, and then again, whatever we could fill up Klep's container with. Then chose those at random beforehand. And as Klep mentioned, they're about, again, 150 or so for this Vinyl Roulette.
Yeah, I just pulled it up on my phone. So yeah, like before there were like 600, like a little over 600. And then, yeah, we narrowed it down to 141.
Hell yeah.
So 141 was like the total in play specifically for 5.0.
And so to start, I said the first round was just going to be at random between those 141 options. And we do number generator, just type it into Google, and we click it 3 times. And what do we get, Mr. Klep Zig? Show us.
Oh, right here. None other than Dan Hicks and the Hot Licks. And yeah, it doesn't open, but yeah, we got The Last Train to Hicksville, the home of Happy Feet. And
1973. It's a 50-year-old album we just listened to.
Yep.
My God.
And yeah, I mean, for me, this had to be the biggest surprise out of all the albums on the roulette. And I guess that's easy to say because it was the only one that was like by an artist that I had no knowledge about. But I seriously just picked this up at a dollar bin at a record store just because of the album cover. Like there's this giant train. I was like, all right, Dan Hicks. And holy crap, did this album ambush us.
Oh my God. Yes, it did, dude. This had like, I don't know, a Western feel. And I think we were playing some Westerns in the back on YouTube. And it was, yeah, very good, honestly. Like a lot of different like an array of music on one album.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was interesting. So yeah, I mean, I've got the cast and it's on the back of the album. So I'll just kind of run through it. But yeah, two lead singers, Dan Hicks, as one might imagine, and Marianne Price. And then, yeah, Dan Hicks also does the rhythm guitar, John Gurton on lead guitar. And then, like, one of the things that made this band really crazy is they had two strings players. So Naomi Eisenberg on violin and also some backup vocals, and then Sid Page would switch between violin and mandolin, Bob Scott on drums, and Jamie Leopold playing the stand-up string bass. Yeah, I mean, I guess what I'll say, I've been listening to a lot of country music recently, but I have yet to come across an artist that uses the violin like they do. I mean, they have two of them, so it's like a much different dynamic. But I mean, there were a few songs specifically like Cheaters Don't Win, Long Came a Viper, and Vivando. Like those three songs in specific, just the violin just destroys you.
Yeah, it was a lot to start off with. It's much, much better than what I expected because I've never heard of them. And yeah, it looked like a great group of people. It was definitely like an upbeat. It was kind of went all over, but the way like you mentioned the strings in the background really just added another element to it, and I was not expecting. I have to ask, so like, why? What made you pick this? Was it the album like cover? 'Cause it does
Yeah,
look
that
pretty
was
cool.
it. I
Okay.
just saw it in the dollar bin, saw the giant train right in the middle of it, and I was like, all right, like there's no downside. It's only $1, so
Yeah, support
Yeah,
your
for
local
those
dollar
just-
bin, baby. Support your
Yeah, for
local
those
dollar
just
bin.
listening, it's just like a train, like just going what looks like full throttle, like up in the sky, away from like a tropical beach or something, and colors everywhere. Yeah, they know what they're doing. Good stuff.
oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've honestly since we did this 5.0, I probably listened to this album like 2 or 3 more times and like 2 other Dan Hicks albums. Like, so yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of roulette. You just like, we have random albums in the mix like this. Like, I know without a doubt, like right now, I would probably never listen to every single record in my record collection before I die. So yeah, like I don't know. That's
Jeez.
also part of the cool. I
Morbid
mean,
as fuck.
well,
What?
it's just it's a simple equation of time. I mean, like think about how many hours of music.
Better start getting after it, Klep.
Yeah, but I'm still buying them,
Yeah,
and
dude.
that's what I mean. It's like that's kind of part of the mystique of having a collection. It's like sometimes you just pull something off the shelf and are just like, wow, that was insane. And I might not have like listen to it if it weren't for other circumstances.
And if it weren't for the roulette, baby, give it up.
Yeah.
Go try it yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Just listen to albums for a day and do other shit. Just listen to albums.
Yeah, the one coming up, I just went to their concert, and if this album didn't get picked, I don't know if I'd be there. So
well, let's dive right in, Michael. All right, so number 2, and I think that so we did.
yeah, how do we do it?
Yeah, so round 2, I decided to have a Super Smash Bros. Tournament. I think there were 16 participants where we each picked a character, and then I assigned 4 other characters for the 4 other odds boost, and then we just filled out the rest randomly, and that was the house.
Yep.
So simulated the games we weren't involved in. We kept going. I think I chose the piranha plant, maybe.
I know who I chose, but we'll let Adam speak first.
Yeah, well, so nonetheless, we went, did the games, and at the end, the victor of the tournament was White Kirby.
Oh,
Michaels.
yeah. Kirby all the way. I don't even play that game. I suck at it, but I'm like, Kirby is the man. He just sucks people, and I have your powers now. And float away. No, it was awesome. It won the tournament. Go Kirby. White Kirby, whatever that means. I just had to change the color. It looked kind of cool.
Well, and also, I guess we didn't specify.
I kicked both your asses. That was awesome.
We didn't specify that we put them on computer and had like 2-3 lives versus each other. So like it was all luck at the end of the day, but White Kirby took that shit. It was fun to watch. And then from there, Michael, we out of your odds boost, the 10 that you chose, what did we get?
Yeah, so like the pick 10, right? Before I say their name, I've kind of heard of them. Adam and Spruce here, they always, talk about them, and they've seen them live before and everything. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not really familiar with them. Let's add to the odds boost and see what happens. Well, Kirby wins, and my odds boost is getting ready. We got the newest album from Goose called Dripfield, and man, that did not disappoint.
Yeah, here we have it. Pretty artsy
great.
album
Looks like
cover.
Dripfield.
Yeah, no text on it whatsoever, just like this logo. And then you open it up. More just kind of like ambient artwork, clean track listing on the back. Like this album is like really well packaged. Like the discs are thick, probably 180 grams. And then, like there's also like this nice little booklet inside where then you got like the credits on the back, got all the lyrics to all the songs. There's some pictures.
I did not see those.
Yeah, now that I think about it,
I don't think we did not.
Really,
no, we didn't.
Yeah,
nope,
we didn't really dive into this, but it has like a really cool little booklet on the inside.
And I'll tell you the reason we didn't dive into it is because about a day beforehand, I saw a drum set on Facebook Marketplace and swooped that shit. And it was right underneath the speakers that were playing these things. And I remember vividly for this album, we were all just like taking turns on the kit, playing along with it.
Just trying our best to mimic Goose, their newest album. Yeah, that was crazy from like start to finish. I mean, I like jam bands, and it was my first time really like giving them a deep dive listen. And they, like I said, they did not disappoint. Their songs are really long in the best way. They kind of have a cool flow to them. My favorite off the album is probably Hunger Sight, but I feel like that's the most popular. So, but it definitely had the cool riff in the beginning and end. But yeah.
I mean,
the Whales one, good too.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite song off the album, honestly.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Also, the disc is white for those watching and
White
listening.
Kirby.
Yeah,
Yes.
So very fitting.
It's a big white ball.
wins, and we get the white discs.
And that's the band Adam and I just saw live in Detroit on Saturday, just a few
Yeah,
days
and
ago.
we
And we got
literally
half
got
the
half
album.
this album.
Yeah. So like that was it was pretty familiar to me that way in that sense. And it was awesome. That dude, Goose live, I mean, I don't know if you like talked about another podcast or show, but they didn't, man, that was crazy. The light show too with it. And they just jammed forever in the best way. Like they just switched it up and we were like right front row too. So that definitely helped. But they're all very talented. I like the keyboard guy a lot with the guitar.
The
Yeah,
It was
Peter.
Handini.
fun. Yeah, it was cool. It was definitely like really, I mean, they're all into it, but he had an extra little flair.
Yeah, that is hands down one of my favorite bands. Really glad I found them opening for Pigeons Playing Ping Pong back in 2020. And unbelievable that we were able to get that one. Hopefully we get Shenanigans Nightclub at some point down the road. I love that one.
Yeah,
But
it's their 2021 album. Yeah, the second one, which Adam said, I guess they don't really, he hasn't heard them play any songs off that album live, correct?
Yeah, it's not that they don't.
it's
It's
a
just
personal
kind of the luck
problem.
of the
Just the
draw.
luck. Yeah, I get it. I get it. How
Yeah,
many times have you seen Goose now?
3.
There you go. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the odds are slim that like you would go to 3 shows and not get any of those songs. Like Flow Down is off that album. They play that song a ton live. Like that might be in their 5 most
Yeah.
like top 5
Well,
frequently played songs live. And
we'll have to look later because they played Detroit Saturday and they went to Milwaukee Sunday. I wonder if they played it then, but I digress.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you got to experience that. I will be looking forward to seeing Goose once again next year.
Yeah. So I kind of forgot. I know the next album I love. Arguably my favorite one. How did we pick it again?
So yeah, I'll tell you. So again, first round was just random from all of them. Next round was that Smash tournament. The next one was a 10-turn Mario Party. Everyone said on computers. And we all chose our characters. And then the last one, because you have to have 4, was just the house. And we just simulated it. We kicked back, just talked and shuffled the Stampede Shuffle, which you can find right now on Spotify. And after 10 turns, 3 stars later, the boy with the mustache, Luigi, took it home for your boy Spruce. And for the first time in any sort of vinyl roulette, my odds boost actually means something.
Yes.
And won.
I was very happy for you. I mean, the card one in 4.0 was brutal. That was so funny.
Yeah,
But,
just because I spent a lot of time on it. I spent a lot of
that
time on that
too.
list.
Well,
Like,
more
and-
albums to pick from too.
Yeah, we did like 50
yeah.
that last time. But yeah, no, I just shot it last minute with my odds boost. And again, so this round I said whoever wins, how many stars you have at the end, you can add that many more to your odds boost. And I think I had like 3 stars. So I don't really remember exactly. It was a spur of the moment kind of thing where I just picked 3 from the house, threw them in there. But my first choice in my odds boost was the one that was picked, and it was Alabama Shakes, Sound and Color.
Yeah, that was probably, I could argue, is my favorite one out of the 6 we got. I really never heard of them besides JJ mentioning them a couple times. From the name Alabama Shakes, I thought it was like a bluegrass country band. It's what I was expecting going into it. And then when the first couple songs played, I'm like, this, okay. Ooh, this is crazy. The lead singer is phenomenal, blew me away. And I love just like the flow of how they play. It's kind of like emotional in the best way possible. I really, really enjoyed them. They were awesome. Love that whole album. And I've been listening to that album too, like after this 5.0. So I really enjoyed it.
There's really not a bad song on it. And yeah, it's just like blues with like some groove to it and like a little bit of indie rock mixed in. So it's kind of like those 3 genres in one. But yeah, it's really good. Like the songwriting's good, like the execution is great. Like and it was the deluxe edition of the album too. So we got 3 extra live songs that were not on the initial release, which is cool.
We got
Sound and color.
4, okay.
Like the actual song Sound and Color is crazy in the best
Yeah.
way. That
Yes.
song's awesome. The way, oh man, the music video is even crazier too. I don't know if I recommend it to everyone, but it is wild.
Dude, yeah. I mean, this is one of my favorite. I actually swooped this before the 3.0 when we were doing it in Toledo. I saw this at Target. And so for reference, this band is no longer together. Brittany Howard is on her own now, and they've put out 2 albums. And it was this one, and then on Boys and Girls, I believe, is the other one.
Yeah.
And I found out about this band. So I really loved Kendrick, or I still love Kendrick Lamar. And I went to the 2015 Bonnaroo, and the stage was the main stage, and I definitely want to be like very close for Kendrick. The night consisted of Alabama Shakes opening, My Morning Jacket afterwards, and then Kendrick Lamar to close out the night. And that is how I found out about this band, Out of Body Experience. Yeah, the synth play in this album. I mean, Sound and Color, Don't Want to Fight No More, and then Give Me All Your Love is just insane.
She just belts that.
Yeah, that song rips.
And as Klep said, so we have a double discer. When you get down to side D, the last song is Someday, and then we have 4 live songs that are just, again, songs that we already heard on this album, but we're live from Capitol Studio. The inside cover is just green, I believe, and then they're just the 4 members. Oh, my Lanta are just standing there, absolutely kicking it and getting ready to make some music that'll blow your mind.
And blow our minds, it did.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'm so happy we got that one. Again, it was my first choice on my odds boost. It was only fitting that it was my first one to ever be chosen. And so that brought us to halftime.
Yeah, halftime. And I'm not like familiar with any of these 3. And as far as like, having the whole experience listening, I'm telling you, do this. This is fun. This is a great, just like exercise to do with your friends or whatever. Because I'm just experiencing all this new music now.
Dude,
we're only halfway in.
Yeah, dude. I've Jamiroquai, Outkast would have never dove into this bands without this. Like, it's
heard of them, but I never really. Now you're a fan and like everything. So
it really is incredible. But so now, the next round, I take us back to Super Smash. But this time, instead of a tournament, we're just going to do one big game. And it allows us to put in 8 participants. And that's perfect because, again, there's 7 odds boosts. It's us 3, and then the 4 other random people I had put in odds boost. Leaves 1 more spot for the house. So there are 8 participants. I honestly think I set it at 8 stock as well. And we just let the boys go at it in Newport City, fighting, scrapping, doing the whole shebang. And then there's one victor at the end. Who could it be?
Oh my God! Wait,
Kirby.
Yeah, it was Kirby again.
Kirby.
And I even like
Kirby.
I even asked him, like, should I pick Kirby? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. Who am I kidding? And then Kirby. This might be something. I don't know how random that could be. Kirby might be that valuable. Let's be real. And so awesome. So I get to pick from my odds boost again. What's up? Love winning this game. And so the one I picked, I'm a big, like, like he was saying, Jamiroquai and all that, Dave Matthews Band. And what we got was the James Taylor Quartet. What was the name of the album again?
In the Hand of the Inevitable.
There you go. Yeah. So Adam's like showed me them before a couple of songs in the past, and I've like fell in love with them. This is crazy good music. It's kind of like brought up my alley of what I like. And I saw the album was there to pick, and I'm like, I've got to put this in my odds boost because if this hits, this is just going to be a crazy experience. And that it was. I cannot detail which song was which because it all kind of blends, but at least in my opinion, but that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. But we just got our asses kicked up and down, left and right, side to side. It was just insane. this James Taylor guy is a madman.
Yeah, it's so interesting too, like, because I'll talk about this guy or like to other people, and they will think I'm talking about like the folk singer, and then also like the other way around, like I'll hear people talking about James Taylor and I like assume they're talking about this guy, but they're talking about the folk singer. I'm like, man, like if only you knew like what this James Taylor is capable of. But yeah, I
Oh my
mean,
God.
I love this album. Like if you want to know how much I love it, go listen to our top 10 albums of 1995 because I picked this as number 1 and like firmly stand by that. But yeah, so this was on like a very like kind of underground record label that was like at this time like popping in the UK, and that's the Acid Jazz record label. Like Incognito was on it. Jamiroquai was not, because they were like the one band from that scene that like got like on a major label. Like they were with Sony. Brand New Heavies, I believe, were on this record label as well. But yeah, I mean, we just look here, like there's 2 discs, and like, yeah, this one just says Acid Jazz all over it. This one has like, more traditional artwork, and this one is interesting because there's like the normal just like UK version of the album has like some songs missing on it, and so like you can't, like there was no US version of this album. It was only released in 95, was not repressed. So the only way you can get it is on the secondary market. And the Japanese version of the album, it's always the Japanese version, had the complete like full like set song, like full track list on it, because they did a second disc that only has 2 songs on it, and it's at 45 RPM. So this was like super interesting because technically a double discer, yet both like each disc you play at a different speed. Like how many albums can you say that about?
Yeah,
I don't know.
true.
That was our first one. When you said that, when you like, where you guys were talking about that, I was like, what? I was like, what is going on? I'm like, you know what? That actually makes sense with this guy. I can totally see that.
It's a
Yeah,
crazy
Very cool
concept,
element.
man. Not many people
Yeah.
know about it. They just think it's all one speed, and like, I mean, it's how singles had to be put out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's essentially what they did with this. It's like we can't fit the whole album onto one disc, but it would like we just need space for like 2 more 3-minute songs, and it won't even take up like one side of one disc. So they just threw it on a 45 and called it a day. But
Be
only the
wary.
Japanese version.
Be wary. 45. They're out there. So, as all vinyl roulettes consist of, we head into the 5th album, but preparing ourselves for the greatest meal to ever be eaten, which is the standard we hold ourselves to. And I swooped some steaks beforehand. Mussels are a standard. We're just meat hounds at the end of the day. So anything you give us, and honestly, we're greenhounds as well. I think we had some good asparagus. We had broccoli in the action, but we wanted to choose the next album before we started cooking up this monster meal. And to do the 5th round, I brought out NBA Live 2005 on the old GameCube. And I set it as one team, the Cavs, versus the Warriors. And on the Cavs team was all of our odds boosts. So Michael Geiman and mine's odds boost versus the house. And we were losing, boys. I remember we were down on ourselves at halftime, even heading into the 3rd quarter. But at the end of the day, Cleveland Cavaliers, 2005, led by Zydrunas Ilgauskas, led by Sasha Pavlovich, I think.
LeBron.
And LeBron. Well, hang on. I don't want to throw him out there. I'm talking about the key players here in 2005. 5.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, was Tractor Trailer on that team? Lord only knows. Nonetheless, the Cavs pulled through. The boys won with the odds boost, so we got 30 albums to choose from that were close to heart.
Really quick, from the James Taylor Quartet album, everyone listening, listen to "Free Your Mind." That's the name of the song, "Free Your Mind." That was my personal favorite. All right, continue. So the Cavs win. That we should have lost. I can't believe we won. We're getting our ass kicked the entire game, but we won. And then
I
what?
wasn't even watching like the second half. I just assumed we had lost, and then I
I think we're
remember
down by like 14 at one point in the third quarter.
yeah, and I remember like Spruce was just like Cavs won, get the odds, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Cavs won. So we chose from the odds, and we headed into Klep's odds boost. And Klep, show the people what we got.
So we got the self-titled and first album of Young the Giant. Excellent album. It's honestly a band I like. It doesn't really make sense. Normally I hear an album that I really like by an artist and I can't help but just like tear through their discography. For whatever reason, I've never done that with Young the Giant. This is the only album of theirs that I've listened to. And yeah, I might have to fix that. But the songwriting is just incredible in this album. Like musically, nothing that's going on here is like too crazy. And yeah, inside you just got the discs and then you got this piece of artwork. Pretty nifty. Yeah, I mean the songs are super well written. Sound quality on this album is great. And let me just look at the back of this because this is a debut album, and I want to say Young the Giant was on a major record label for this. Yeah, Roadrunner Records. So that's like pretty cool having your first album like on Roadrunner.
Yeah, they when I heard My Body come on, I'm like, oh, that's them. I've
Yeah.
heard of them. I've heard like cough syrup and whatnot, but
that's so interesting too. Yeah, like My Body and Cough Syrup were like the two songs that got a ton of radio play. They're probably my two least favorite songs on the album
because
they're so poppy. Like, and to me they have the least depth, like versus any of the other songs. Like,
yeah,
so many of these other ones are just like way more like groovy and like have like just like better guitar, better drums, bass, whatever. But yeah, double discer, true double discer, 2 discs full of 3 songs on each side, 12 songs total.
It's an incredible album. Yeah, I remember cooking and we were just amazed at how many songs we knew. And I heard of this band honestly on like their performance on American Idol back in like 2008 or something. And from there, yeah, I didn't give this album a full listen to either until this time, and it was a perfectly well placed album in our roulette.
Yeah, I agree with that. There is like a certain flow to when an album's picked in the roulette because it's kind of an all day thing. So, and I agree that was placed really well. Yeah, great album. I got the hits out of the way and got to dive deep more into stuff I haven't heard before. And yeah, they're really cool. I like them a lot.
Got some juicy steaks.
I guess I would say if I could recommend like listening off this album, it would be 3 songs. Like every song on this album is really good, just to be clear. Even though I say like those 2 hits were my least favorite, they're still really good songs. But Apartment, Streetwalker, and Guns Out. Like those are the 3. Like if you don't know anything about Young the Giant, like listen to those first.
Yeah, I remember Apartment was good. So
incredible way to start an album.
Yeah.
After leaving my apartment.
I am Dracula.
Pretty much.
Well, we felt like Dracula all day being inside of the house listening to these things, and we saw the sun was setting a little bit after 8:30, and we set out on a quest. And in the greatest state, one of the greatest cities in the world, Cleveland, Ohio, you have access to a beach 10 minutes that way. And guess what? The boys set forward and said, all right, we'll do the last album when we get back. Let's go take a walk. And saw an incredible sunset again, just very well placed. But yeah, got it perfectly. Like, could not have planned it better. Fresh air walk. I don't know. Felt very needed it, especially because we didn't really do a true halftime.
No, that is true, and it was cool being on like the rocks on the edge of Lake Erie, and you look to your right, and there's just downtown Cleveland, the skyline. There's like a mix of both worlds there. But yeah, that walk was nice. That was needed for sure.
Edgewater Park.
Adam was playing. We're walking. Adam is carrying this big JBL speaker. We're just like the gang walking around. Yeah, it was like a good 2.5, 3 mile walk. It was.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, it was, and it was very well placed. We had some UFC fights going on later, so we wanted to get back.
I lost so much money.
So much, but
I'm ruined.
So for the last one, I don't remember. Did we just do random? I'm trying to think how we decided to choose.
I don't remember exactly what we did. I do know it got pulled from my odds though. So somehow was it Mario Kart maybe?
No, because I remember I couldn't get Mario Kart to have like all computers.
Yeah. So I guess I don't remember.
How did we decide that?
I don't remember, but I do remember for sure that it got pulled. Like my odds boost won, and then
so I think we just did it randomly, but it was just like with all the albums in it, and then your odds boost.
Yeah, I think that might have been it. We just said, "Hey, out of our 3 odds boosts, let's go from there."
Yeah, because we were the big winners of the day. Because if you think about
it, was like 1 through 30, too. Something like that. Wouldn't that be 1 through 30? Then
that is ringing a bell, honestly.
Yeah, we said we were the big winners of the day and just chose from it, and so got picked from Klep's odds boost once again, and once again to close it out, we got another self-titled album.
Yeah, and not a debut album like Young the Giants. It's actually the most recent My Morning Jacket album. Crazy artwork.
What's the album called?
My Morning Jacket.
Oh, it's self-titled, but not their first. I got it. Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is like probably their 9th or 10th. So it's like very interesting.
That is. Gotta do it at some point.
Packaging is insane. As you look on my screen, disc is purple. One of them is. The other one, I believe, is yellow.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that packaging was awesome to look at.
Yeah, no like insert, but I mean the song lyrics are on like the little inner sleeve. But yeah, one purple disc, one yellow disc. I wonder if they're Lakers fans or Vikings fans. I don't know. They're from Kentucky, so probably neither, but whatever.
You never know.
Yeah.
Dude, the Devils and the Details was crazy. That was a fun song.
Yeah. I mean, man, like what a selection, and also crazy that like Spruce was talking about that Bonnaroo show, and like 2 of the bands from that we got their albums.
And dude, Kendrick was in my odds boost, and there was 2 Kendrick albums involved. Like they could have very been my entire Friday night at Bonnaroo 2015.
Yeah, that's true. What an amazing album. Another double discer. Yeah, Michael's definitely right. Devils in the Details, crazy, complex, Penny for Your Thoughts, Love, 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 In Color, Least Expected. Like all these songs are just so good. And I guess, I didn't even realize I'm wearing the shirt too.
I noticed that right away.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't even plan that out. I just happened to like throw the shirt on. So that's kind of crazy.
I thought you planned it. I'm wearing the shirt that I wore that day.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. That was wild.
Yeah. I don't even
How would
remember
you
what
describe
poster I wore.
how would you describe like My Morning Jacket? Would you say like psychedelic rock or
Well, so that like
alternative, you know?
they're a jam band at heart because yeah, like I saw them on the tour for this album, and yeah, songs that they don't like jam out every single song, but like they will extend 4-minute songs into like 8-minute songs. And yeah, like there's live improvisation at their shows. The one I went to was honestly probably like close to 3 hours of music, maybe more, honestly. It was like a 26 song set. Like it was
Jeez.
crazy. But yeah, it's a like there's elements of indie rock for sure. Jam band, like I said. I mean, they're from Kentucky, so you have like folky country vibes too. Like their first album was recorded in a grain silo. So yeah,
Okay.
they definitely have like country folky like mountainy vibes to them as well. But I mean there's electronic undertones too, like that's kind of how you get the indie rock. I mean they do really rock out as well. Like there really is not many comparables for like their sound, honestly. But I mean they're really, I guess, out of all the ones that we got in this roulette, I'd say they're probably the closest to Goose. So they're
Yeah.
probably somewhere between Goose and Alabama Shakes, like genre wise, if we're just looking at the ones that we got at 5.0.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, they're not like quite as blues oriented as Shakes, and they're not quite as jam band as Goose, but definitely got a little bit of both. Jim James, he's like the maestro behind this band, like writes all the songs. I believe on the first album, he might have played all the instruments. At the very least, he did more than just singing and playing guitar. That was a cool thing about seeing that band live too. Like some songs he like doesn't play guitar for, and they just got like one dude rocking a guitar, and there's only one guitar layer in the song. Which that's also true of Goose. If it's a song that Peter's on keys, Rick's guitar is the only guitar you got going.
That blew me away. I couldn't believe that, seeing that live. Like this guy's doing all this. That
Dude,
was
that's what blows my mind about like Fish, because that is just Trey on guitar. No one else ever enters the picture on guitar. And it like literally sounds like there's like 10 guitars going.
exactly.
But yeah,
No,
I mean,
we
just
we
an
got
incredible
blasted.
album.
We got blasted this roulette. Let's just say it was definitely one of my favorites, music wise. Like, I guess so we've done half. We've done a 1.5, I guess, where we do three albums, and those are just like side quest kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited, honestly. Once we get to 10, let's rank them. We'll do a top 10 vinyl
Ooh,
roulettes.
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
But we need to start planning for 6.0, gentlemen. Winter time.
Do, 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 do.
We'll talk a little
Yeah,
bit more.
6.0. Ooh, get ready for that one.
Get ready. And all the ones that we have heard currently, except for Dave, are out the door, never again to be heard during the final roulette. Thank you for your service.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the beauty of it, and that's like what keeps us getting like new and different stuff. And yeah, so I guess we don't have a date locked in yet for 6.0. But we have decided that we are not going to do it at my house or Spruce's house, and we're gonna like find a destination somewhere. And for the first time ever, Mr. Michael gets to make the rules.
Oh, I can't wait for this. I'm going to plan this very accordingly. I do like that. Awesome. I will not disappoint, I swear, because both of you guys have also had great improv ways of picking, odds boosts and this and that. So the keys have been passed to me. Thank you for trusting me. Let's get it.
Anything goes. Anything goes.
As a seasoned veteran, we are expecting a lot.
6 point. Oh my God. Get it.
Now, the real question is will Mr. Al Casino be present?
He was and wasn't present in the last one, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, he was fully present at 1.5.
Hey, you got to be present to be present. And when you're present, you're in the presence. Here's a present.
And maybe next time we'll get Presents by Led Zeppelin.
Lord only knows. Shout out to 5.0. Shout out to Vinyl. Shout out to Vinyl Roulettes.
Speaking of presents, thank you for the Zach Brown Band t-shirt. I was supposed to get it, but I got it at the Goose concert instead. And if I just ruined something, I'm sorry, but thank you for that.
Yeah, no. Spruce doesn't have his yet. You haven't ruined it.
I'm sorry.
You've just given him a hint, though. Yeah, so yeah, that was
Don't
like,
forget about it.
if you remember, after like the next day, I texted you guys and was like, I brought something for each of you, and I forgot to give it to each of you, and since then I've seen you, Spruce, and I forgot to give it to you again.
We forget a couple things.
Yeah.
That's what I assumed. I'm like, you guys, okay. Jeez. Yeah, right.
Well, nonetheless,
Yeah.
we have to get on order, ladies and gentlemen. We got to talk after this whole thing. But to close out 5.0, my name is Spruce.
I'm Klep.
Michael.
And this has been another episode, and this has been truly another episode of Vinyl Stallion.